Most bankers aren't ready to help you until after their third cup of coffee. But with Central National Bank's after-hours service, you don't have to wait for the bank lobby to open to get help. You can contact us from 6 to 8:30 in the morning or from 5 to 10 in the evening, and we'll connect you to a real, live, local person who can answer questions and fix problems 7 days a week. Bank different. Bank Central. Central National Bank. Member FDIC.
La Grunta.
Capers,
La Grunta.
plush bathrobes and roomy slippers.
La Grunta.
Capers, a round of golf.
La Grunta.
A dolphin encounter.
La Grunta.
Deer hunting.
La Grunta.
Shooting fish in a barrel.
La Grunta.
All located here at Arlen's Luxury Spa and Resort. La Grunta. All dolphin encounters require signed liability waivers.
La Grunta.
Bwaaa!
Bwaaa trash fight all through the night, deep in the heart of Texas. The trailer park is nice and dark, deep in the heart of Texas. That drinks his brew and he spits his chew, deep in the heart of Texas. The TV blares, but no one cares, deep in the heart of Texas. Here we go!
Hey there, everybody. Welcome to Bwaaa, a King of the Hill podcast. I am Mike.
And I'm Rusty.
I don't know what happened there, but
Yeah, I
all
don't
right.
either.
Rusty
Brain
is
fart.
now the official mascot of Frosted Flakes.
Yeah.
So I got a question for you.
Okay.
This episode, season 3, episode 16, and by the way, people can probably hear me chewing, and they can also hear this. Rusty brought us Bobby Hill fruit pies in today, and so I've been taking a bite here and there. So season 3, episode 16, this one is entitled Jon Vitti, I guess I'm saying that right, presents Return to La Grunta, or Grunta, sorry. Now, we remember La Grunta as the one where they went hunting inside the fences, right, where he took Bobby to hunt, and then they couldn't quite kill the thing. It's the one where Bobby saw visions of the deer jumping over him and him taking care of his dad and carrying him around and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. And I've looked up Jon Vitti, and I see that he's a writer, and he wrote, I don't know, 5 or 6 episodes of King of the Hill, right?
Mm-hmm.
But
He also
yeah,
he's also known for The Critic, and he also wrote on The Office as well.
and that's great. But why is this episode entitled Jon Vitti Presents?
Well, I'm not really sure, but I can tie him up and give him a little more importance in the world of comedy. He was president of the Harvard Lampoon.
Oh,
Mike Reese.
yeah.
I don't know if you ever heard of him.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He was also very close with Conan O'Brien as well. So he was
Okay.
one of Conan O'Brien's buddies while
Okay.
at Harvard. And he did The Simpsons, also had a brief stint at
I
Saturday
saw that
Night
he did a
Live.
lot of stuff on The Simpsons. Yeah.
So yeah, he's he's done a little bit.
Maybe you want to bet in the writer's room.
You know, I got a mouthful of pie. I was kind of thinking that, right? Like, it's got to be an inside joke, right? It has to be inside baseball type stuff. I mean, what do you think?
Maybe.
Why else? I mean, it's not like Jon Vitti had a series after this or
no, he
anything.
didn't.
Jon Vitti Presents. All right, Mason, flag this. I made a mistake, and I took a big bite.
I'm
It's
sorry,
fine.
Mike. No, that's staying in.
All right. We live with our mistakes.
Yep.
Okay, so let's get this sucker started. By the way, if anybody out there has the answer to Jon Vitti presents Return to La Grunta, please let us know. And where can they let us know?
Sorry, I was eating an apple
You're
pie.
taking a big bite.
Yeah. So you can
He
find
had
us
the
on
pie
our,
in his
I
mouth
was
and
about
then
to take a
took it
huge
out
bite.
as he was answering.
So you can find us on our link tree, linktr.ee/BWAAAKOTH or BWAAAKOTH on most all social medias if you just want to go to a direct social media.
There you
But,
go.
you can find us there.
I believe we have one on Mastodon now.
Yes, we have one on Mastodon now.
I'm not sure that anybody's checking it. But
Whatever
we have one.
Mastodon is. Yeah, whatever that is. And also, we're still needing more people to hit us up on the stickers and stuff like that so we can get those passed out to y'all. So if anybody's hearing this and you are new to the show or you've been listening to the show for a long time and you haven't DM'd me yet, DM me on any of our social media accounts. I think for the giveaway, we only have given away 4 so far, so we need 6 more people.
Something that people don't realize.
Or 3. We need 7 more people.
These stickers, they will stick to virtually anything. Guaranteed.
Guaranteed.
Guaranteed to stick to virtually anything.
The time length is not guaranteed,
So
but I
much
will
pie.
guarantee that it will stick to something.
So much pie in his mouth. All right, so as we start this, I want to remind us that there is no bell, no yell. We start with Hank, Bobby, Peggy all watching TV in the living room, and we hear a horn honk outside like somebody's there for a ride. Luanne comes running in. She goes, "Oh, that's my ride, Uncle Hank. Can I borrow $22.50?" Such a specific amount, $22.50.
Very specific.
So she breaks it down. I need $8 for the movie, $2.50 for popcorn, $2.50 for popcorn. Just imagine a time when popcorn was only $2.50.
Yeah,
I wasn't alive at that time.
Well, yes, I think it's $2.50 if you go buy a box of it.
I think right now it's $2.50 if you get 6 kernels. That's all you get. You get
Yeah.
6 kernels, and they're not guaranteed to be popped.
1 egg, $22.50.
Hey, man, the egg thing I think is all an illusion, by the way, because Walmart is still selling eggs for $2 a dozen. So you tell me why eggs are $7 at HEB.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe their supplier's not
the
right.
way the chicken was raised.
Maybe the chickens were raised in the Walmart way. I'm not sure PETA.
How much are
appreciates
Target? How much are Target chicken eggs? If HEB
I don't
eggs
know.
are high, the
If you're buying
Target
your
chicken
groceries
eggs,
at Target, you deserve however much they charge you.
that. Hey, I was at Target yesterday, and it's only because my parents live in a nursing home back behind Target here in town. And so we always, when we go to visit them, we stop by Target because Target is kind of fun to just walk around in, But it is higher priced. You're right, especially for groceries and stuff. But they have a lot of the problem with Target is, and it's kind of the same thing with Walmart with some stuff. They don't have their own brands for everything. At least when you go to HEB, Howard E. Butts.
yeah. If you go to Amazon too, Amazon's got they have
Tons
shorts,
of-
Well, I'm sure
shoes.
Target has their
car
own brands.
parts.
Or
They
at
do.
least they exclusively sell brands that exclusively sell from Target.
Sure,
I can't
sure.
think of it off the top of my head, but
They
someone's gonna yell at me in
do,
the comments.
but I don't think you're buying. What is it? Greatlands? I think it's Greatlands is their brand or something like that.
I'm not sure.
Great something.
But I don't think you're buying Greatlands, cream of wheat or whatever, right? That's what I'm saying. Those kind of
Yeah,
things
you're right.
all come in like real brands or whatever, and so they're always more expensive. It's hard to get my Target chips. So anyway, we bought a baby crib and my wife a new purse, so it was a hell of a shopping trip for me.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Okay, so
Breaking the bank.
again, she
So mesmerizing.
yeah, it's good stuff.
Tell me more.
Yeah, these kids, they want to hear all about it. So she breaks down why she needs the exact monetary amount of $22.50. I need $8 for the movie, $2.50 for popcorn, and $10 for dinner. Again, $10 for dinner, still a good deal. And I want to play the claw machine. I would give up the popcorn to play the claw machine, which I think is a fair trade on her part, honestly. If you're going to give up popcorn for $2.50 to play the claw machine, I'm assuming the claw machine is still a quarter at this point or 50 cents, most, Now they're all a buck. Hank says, Luanne, it'd be a lot less irritating to give you a round number every now and then than hearing about every little thing you want to buy. So Luanne says, well, can I have $300? That's quite an escalation. He goes, look, here's $60. Now, I lived on a month for $60, thanks to, and then you hear Luanne, hey, guys, I got $60. And she runs out to the car. Hank is talking to Peggy or kind of talking to the room, but he says, by letting Luanne live like this, we send out the message that it's okay. Maybe that's what's wrong with Bobby.
Maybe.
And then there's like this serious pause where they both just look at Bobby slouching on the couch, and on the TV we hear, "Now I can bite an apple with confidence." And that's it. It's just
a commercial for Fix-A-Dent.
That's the thing. Parents know their kids are fucked up. I mean, they do.
Oh yeah.
You
They know their
just
kids are wild.
you love them anyway. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
doesn't mean that everybody has to love your kids, but but
Yeah,
you
well,
love
they're
yours.
wild, for sure.
Okay, so we are at, and maybe you can help me here. We're at the local hardware store. I don't remember the name of this hardware store. Do you remember the guy's name at the hardware store?
Oh, no, I don't remember.
Yeah,
his
see,
name either.
I don't remember it either. But we're at the hardware store with two customers, the guy behind the counter and Hank. And customer number one is saying, "My Betsy left her job at La Grunta Hotel. She could put in a good word for Luanne." Hank, he likes the sound of this. He goes, "Oh, what's the job?" He goes, "Golf course drink girl." The other customer says, "I went to La Grunta once. It cost $8 just to park there." And then you hear the guy behind the counter, the man who assumingly owns the store, says, "You could get 200 washers for that." Customer number two says, 400 at the Megalo Mart. And then the guy behind the counter is like, "What's that supposed to mean?" I mean, he gets pissed. Hank says, "Now calm down, guys. This is why I shop here. It may cost more, but it's worth it." He hands the guy a bolt and a nut, a single bolt, a single nut, and the guy goes, 8 cents. Everybody looks at him, and again, there's that pause, that pregnant pause.
That pregnant pause.
He goes, "I got a family."
I got a family.
I think that 8 cents is going to mean anything. Next thing we see is Luanne is sitting out on the curb with a big box full of stuff. She's got a sign on it and says, "Sale, need money for food." I mean, she's gotten pretty extreme, just real quick.
Oh yeah, she has a football phone in her hand.
Yeah, so Hank comes up and says, "Luanne, that's my helmet phone." She goes,
Artie gave us a little tidbit about the phone here. So it says that the Dallas Cowboys helmet phone. You have it there too.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. So the helmet phone was invented in 1982 by Bernie Paul, who was a service manager for Sharp Electronics.
Very nice.
At first, the NFL was against them until Paul Bryant got involved, and their view changed.
Well, was this the helmet phone or the football phone?
This is the helmet phone.
Because there were two different ones.
This is the helmet phone.
Okay. All right.
According
Cool.
to Artie,
Yeah,
this is the helmet
great.
phone. He said in the 1982 NFL draft, the two previous Super Bowl teams had them on national TV. In 1983, all teams had a helmet phone on their desk on national TV. The helmet phone used to draft Troy Aikman fetched $3,000 at auction.
Oh, yeah, I don't doubt that.
Yep. And in 2000, the NFL auctioned off all 382 official NFL helmet phones in their possession. With new technology, the landline helmet phone went out of production.
Well, yeah, I'm sure. But I would think they could put a cell phone in a helmet phone. I think it'd still be kind of cool.
Well, that's the thing is now with the new technologies and stuff that we have today, you can buy a dongle or a device that you plug your old phone up to that allows you to Bluetooth your actual phone to a house phone or landline phone, if you will. So if the landline phone rings, it actually, when you pick it up, it'll answers your
We
cell
need
phone.
to make sure that we give some sort of warning before we say words like dongle.
Dongle,
I mean, this is a partially family show.
Dingle, dangle, dongle.
So here's what I had. I've got a picture of the Cowboys helmet phone. It says the phone became highly visible during the 1990 holiday season. Now, that's not when it first came out. Obviously, it came out in 82.
Yeah.
It says the holiday season promising viewers the mini infomercial that a 1-year $55 subscription to Sports Illustrated would earn them the conversation piece. Anecdotal evidence reports less than favorable experiences with the gift, however. Its bulbous shape made it uncomfortable to hold, and tossing it around using... Oh, wait, this is the football phone. Oh, never mind. I got the wrong information. I'm stupid.
No, it's still like relevant to...
Yeah, this is when Sports Illustrated got the football phone. Yeah. No, he beat me. He had much better information.
Okay.
Okay, good job, Artie. Thank you. You saved my ass on that one. Sorry, dongle. So
Artie 1, Mike -5.
That's right, -5. Especially just today, it's -5. So we get Luanne saying, I'm sorry, but I just can't starve to death, as convenient as that would be for you. She is just so...
But it's funny that she, in her mind, she wants money, so she's inside grabbing things that don't belong to her to sell to make money.
Yeah, it's crazy. She goes, and you won't give me any more money because I spent everything you gave me last night. It's not a reason, but all right.
That's
Luanne.
not a reason at all.
Hank says, but, well, you know what? Doesn't matter because I found an exciting opportunity for you. How'd you like to be a golf course drink girl? And again, with the pregnant pause, she just looks at him like she has no idea what those words
just
mean.
Hit her in the face.
Yeah. He says, you'd have your own money. She goes, oh, my own money? Nobody making me beg for every little penny like a dog? Like he ever did that.
Nobody made her beg. You choose. That's the path you chose.
Hank says, yep, you'd show me all right. She goes, ooh, golf course drink girl. Hey, why not me? He goes, that a girl. I'll be my own boss. No, you'll still have a boss, but the tips are all under the table. She just giggles like she does and gives Hank a big old hug. We're now at the La Grunta Inn and Resort, and we are with, I'm assuming, the old lady who runs the caddy shack there, and she is giving Luanne the what for. She says, the golfers are cheap. They think because I'm a woman I'm supposed to be Miss Mary Sunshine. Well, the hell with that. Luanne says, I had no idea you were a woman. Which is a great joke.
That's a good joke. That's rough. But
she goes, just take these damn drinks out to 7. Just as long as you can do basic math, you'll be fine. And then Luanne looks very worried because I don't think she can do basic math.
Potentially.
Yeah. We are at hole number 7. There are 3 guys there. Seem like frat bro kind of guys or investment bankers or something like that, right?
Yeah, a couple bro diddlies.
Yeah. And Luanne comes driving up with the drinks in her little cart. She says, excuse me, did you order these drinks? The main golfer says, yeah, but maybe I've had enough. You look better than you did 15 minutes ago, which I'm assuming was the old lady that came out. Luanne says, I had him check my math so I know it's right. He says, here you go. And he hands her a big old wad of cash. Like it looks like drug money, honestly. You know, the way it's all wound up.
Yeah, rubber banded.
She goes, okay, I can do this, thinking she's going to have to do math. The guy says, hey, it's all yours as long as you don't let the sea hag bring our drinks anymore, which, I mean, that's fine, you know, funny or whatever, but it gets worse. It gets worse. We're now in the Hill kitchen with Bobby and Peggy, and Luanne is saying, and we can eat what's left over from the buffet, and we get to use the kids' pool until 7 a.m. Until 7 a.m. Just the kids' pool until 7 a.m. Peggy says, well, how do I get a job like that, huh? She goes, oh, Aunt Peggy, I don't know. The other drink girl is a woman of your age, and the golfers don't like her. Bobby says, I could be a golf course drink girl, and he carries over 2 grape soda cans.
Yeah, he's goofy.
He goes into his falsetto voice, and he says, is there anything else I can get you, gentlemen? Peggy says, Bobby, don't let your father see you do do that, honey. Luanne says,
yeah, I don't think Hank could appreciate that one.
No, he would not like that.
He'd probably get mad at...
He'd get mad at somebody.
Everybody in the
He'd
room
get mad at the
involved.
universe.
Yeah.
And so Luanne says, I have to thank Uncle Hank. She's just so excited about this job, you know, because she's earning money and she's doing
she's
a
ready
thing.
To get banked.
So, I mean, good for her.
Money. Well, she's tired of selling other people's belongings. I mean, that you know.
Yeah, it's a tough job.
That's risky.
Yeah.
It's a very risky job.
People run out of stuff. So she says, what is the best possible present I could possibly get him? Because she's wanting to get Hank something to thank him for getting her this job and being so nice. Peggy says, well, I always get him pants. I got him socks one year. Never again. I want to hear that story. I want to hear what happened when she gave him socks.
Oh.
You know? I mean, because I would think Hank would appreciate socks.
Yeah, I would think he would appreciate socks too.
Pants, white T-shirts.
Any of it, unless there's like unless Hank has some weird nuanced trauma attached to socks.
Well, Hank may have feet problems.
Or
we
maybe,
just don't know.
Or maybe he had a trauma about, puberty and filling socks.
Maybe he's got a hammer toe.
Yeah, maybe.
And so Luanne says, no, that's no good. I have to get him something he really loves. Something that will just make him go, wow. Now we're in the alley with Boomhauer, Bill, and Dale, and Luanne standing out there trying to get tips. She goes, I've noticed that Uncle Hank doesn't wear any jewelry, so I'm going to get him some jewelry. Dale says, that's not what he needs. I know a man who can remove Hank's fingerprints for him, but believe me, pay the extra $50. And Boomhauer pipes up with, Tell you what, man, boy, man, dang old electronic assistant, man, never miss a meeting. Check it out. He pulls out this old ass PDA and pushes the button on it, and you can hear him talking to himself saying, "Tell you what, about 5 o'clock, I'm gonna have a beard and then go hang out at audio store, you know, and then come back and working out, or maybe something like that." And then Boom Howard just goes, "Oh man, dang old Wednesday, man."
Yeah.
Like he's recorded
That's
all
awesome.
these
That's
notes
really
for
good.
himself.
Well, I like it because it shows. I don't know. I like when you see characters using the technology of the era in the deals
Sure.
in a way like that. That really, I don't know.
Just
I guess
talking
it really.
to himself.
It's like
I'm gonna
a
go drink
statue
beers,
of the
hang out
time.
at the.
Can I make a quick tangent?
Yeah, please, man.
Rusty, I want to ask you. So you like seeing people use stuff from their time.
Yeah.
So why do you think people don't like it when like people use Twitter or Facebook or like smartphones and modern stuff?
Why do I think why people don't like why people use that?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know because I don't know. I don't know.
I think people think that it's going to date it.
You mean
You
that's
know?
what people say? Say it dates stuff,
Yeah.
but everything's dates itself
Yeah.
unless it's a fantasy or something really really old,
Right.
like Ben-Hur.
Well, Ben-Hur. I've been him. But there is a show that I read about yesterday that's on Apple Plus now, and it's called like Future Tomorrow or Futureland or something. I don't know. It's something like that.
The
But
future people.
It's set in an alternate 50s, 1950s. And it uses like all this newer type technology and stuff, which I think that's a cool way to use like old technology. You know, use it in weird time periods and stuff. I think that's kind of cool. But there you go. That's my big story for that.
Sorry for the tangent.
No, you're
Like
good.
steampunk.
I wouldn't really count that as a tangent.
Like a steampunk.
Yeah,
kind of
maybe
thing.
steampunk or something. I don't know. Bill also pops up and he says, you know, Hank and me used to go bowling. I'd tell people we were brothers, and he was better than me, but he'd let me win sometimes, and we'd stay out way too late, and maybe if you bought him another bowling ball. And he starts to, his voice starts breaking. He
It'd
goes,
be like before Peggy came.
I just
Wow.
don't. Where would this have been? Like, because they didn't live there before he and Peggy got married.
No, they're probably thinking like high school stuff. It's
Maybe.
probably like before
Maybe.
Peggy showed up.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
guess it
'cause,
would
I
have been
mean,
maybe junior year.
These are
or
the kind of
something.
guys that sit around reliving the glory days. So
Yeah, that's true.
I assume
You're
whenever they
right.
talk about the good old days, they're talking about teenage years. I don't ever think like they're talking about their early 20s
Yeah,
or anything like
yeah.
that. It's all like it's all high school.
For some reason, that's the first thing I thought of was like they were in their early 20s or
Yeah,
something.
no.
I thought,
Anytime
well, shit,
they
they
say
didn't live next to each
anything, I
other.
always think of high school because they're in that you know that's
They're those
just,
kind of guys, yeah.
what they are. It's that generation.
So we are back at La Grunta. We are in the La Grunta Gifta.
Especially for nowadays, I feel like that generation. I mean, sorry to say, your generation and like people that are older than you all have that like the world's ending mentality. It seems like a lot of people from it's like we're the last generation that got to drink from water hoses and huff lead paint off the walls and all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Like.
I hope to lead paint off the walls. We are at La Grunta Gifta, which is the gift shop at La Grunta. And Luanne says, what man doesn't like nice soap or a candle? Well, almost all of them, Luanne.
I do. I love soap. and
She says,
candles.
that bottle of Vicks is really expensive. So she's just looking through that crap.
She's contemplating buying somebody a bottle of Vicks, but the only reason why she didn't is because it was expensive.
This gift
is what I get
store,
from this.
this gift store reminds me of the gift store in a hospital. You know, like where you buy a teddy bear that says "Get well soon" or something, or a porcelain dragon or something for somebody who's in the hospital for some reason.
Yeah, and then like an $80 pair of headphones that at Walmart would cost like $3.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. The lady at the cash rep says, why don't you get him a gift certificate? There are a lot of things at the hotel he can use. I bought my husband a round of golf, and our love life has never been better. Wow. Okay. That's a little too much information, I think.
That's a little wild.
Luanne is looking out the window at the golfers out there playing. And she goes, of course, that's it. So, I mean,
it's probably because while he's out for a round of golf,
John Redcorn shows up.
John. Well, maybe not him. Maybe somebody John Redcorn knows. You know.
Yeah.
Maybe
Bob Running Deer.
maybe Bob Running Deer.
Sure.
Or anybody.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't have anything for that, I guess.
All right, we're back at the hills, and Luanne has a big old present box I mean, it's wrapped really nicely. I'm assuming the lady at the Grunta gift store wrapped it. She says, and she said I should buy him a round of golf, and then it was easy. Peggy goes, oh, Luanne, Hank loves golf. A round of golf makes my presents look like, well, nothing. Oh, no, Aunt Peggy. Of course it does. She goes, no, you don't understand. And then Hank comes in. She goes, surprise! And Hank says, well, what's this? I know it's not my birthday. I didn't get my pants from Peggy.
Yeah. He starts doing that chuckle.
He looks at her, and Peggy looks at him like, yeah, all right, keep talking about the pants, mama. And Luanne watches him unwrap the big box, and inside the big box is a smaller box. That sets Luanne off. She just thinks that's the funniest damn thing she's ever seen. Oh, my God, look at your face. She thought it was a big box, but it's a small box. But you know what they say about small packages? What? What do they say about small packages, Luanne? What do they say about small packages? Bobby pipes up because he can't stand it anymore and goes, it's a round of golf. Luanne says, no, Bobby, no. The round of golf gave me the idea, but it's, and then you hear Hank say,
dolphin encounter. Wow. So we're going to have some fun stuff about dolphins to talk about. I've got a couple of couple of NASA stuff going.
So Luanne says, that's right. There's a dolphin in the pool at the hotel, and you can swim with it and touch it, and it communes with you, and you can feed it dead fish.
To say.
Commune?
For Luanne, it's such a weird. I don't know,
she read it on the pamphlet. It's got to be right.
Yeah, I mean,
otherwise she wouldn't know the word commune.
Or somebody sold her that. So that's what the salesman said.
Right. Hank says, "Well,
the salesman could be affiliated with the church."
Sure.
Using a word,
he could get her in a church real quick.
Yeah.
Hank says, "Well,
a congregation of dolphin."
Sure.
Yeah.
A pew of dolphins.
Yeah. The choir of dolphins.
He says,
dolphins.
Golphins.
Yeah, dolphins here. Golphin dolphins.
Those are flying dolphins.
Imagine that. A TV show about golf caddy dolphins.
Golf caddy dolphins. Golphins.
Golphins.
Oh, I like that. That's good. Or maybe golf caddies that ride dolphins.
Yeah, and now Jabberjaw's introduced, and he's
Jabberjaw,
and he's like a senile, he's like a late 60-year-old shark.
Wait a minute.
And he's attacking the dolphins.
We're aging Jabberjaw up.
Yeah,
from
Jabberjaw,
when he first appeared.
Well, when he first appeared, he's only a teenager, and that show started in the 70s. So I imagine if he's a teenager in the 70s, he's a child. He was born in the 60s, and then by now he's in his mid 60s.
Yeah.
So I would age him up to mid 60s, and he would be viciously senile, and he would attack the dolphins.
Why did he talk like Curly? From the Three Stooges. Yeah, it was just all curly.
Great. I loved it. I guess that was probably because the same people who did the animated version of back then all the animation stuff kind of all melted together. Who did what? Especially Hanna-Barbera stuff.
Oh, Hanna-Barbera stuff was a
lot of voice actors.
When I went to commercial art school, one of the things we had to do was product design. And so we did packaging and stuff like that. So we did a project from beginning to end, and one of the things I did was the history of Hanna-Barbera cartoons on a DVD, right? At that time it was a CD, but still. And then we had to make a box for it and packaging and the whole thing. Anyway.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was kind of cool. It was kind of cool. I think I still got it somewhere. Hank says, well, Luanne, that sure was a thoughtful present, and it looks like you spent a lot of money on it, and hey, if I wanted to exchange that for a round of golf, I could do that, right? And Luanne, hating this, says, you wouldn't want to replace it.
It costs more than a round of golf. I would have been like, so I can exchange that for 2 rounds of golf, right, Luanne?
She says,
I don't think a dolphin encounter would be, I don't know.
It's got to cost a lot.
Well, I went to SeaWorld as a kid, and I didn't really like it. I don't know. I didn't think it was cool.
The whole place smells like fish.
Well, I didn't really care about the smell. I just didn't think it was cool.
It's kind of when you realize all you can do is just look at the fish. Well, like as an adult, you hate it because
Yeah, well, they had the little pet
but
pool.
as a kid, it's just kind of really boring.
Well, they had the little pool where you could pet the dolphins and stuff like that at SeaWorld. But I was just like, in my mind, I'd already watched Free Willy at this point, so I was like, where's the wall that they could jump over to get to? And then I'm like, oh, we're in San Antonio. There's no ocean here. So, like, how do we free these dolphins? How do we get these things out of here? Like, Can we get a pickup truck full of water and get them out of here?
At SeaWorld in Orlando, it costs $29 to pet dolphins.
Oh, wow.
Now, if you want to go in the water with a dolphin and have that
intimate experience,
intimate commune, it's $224.
Oh, wow.
Just to get in the pool with a dolphin.
And I imagine if it's at some hotel somewhere, it's probably like $1,500.
Well, yeah, this is like Discovery Cove, which I'm assuming is associated with.
And, you know, they probably get like 900 people a day that do that.
Oh, yeah.
For $200.
Those poor dolphins. They gotta have the stink of people on them all the time. So he says, I could exchange it. She goes, oh no, it costs more than a round of golf. She starts sobbing, and she just said, excuse me, and she just runs off into her room. And Peggy, kind of sitting there, she goes, well, somebody should go talk to Luanne. And then she starts humming a tune. Do you know the tune she hums?
No, I don't know that one.
It's Chuck Mangione, Feels So Good.
Oh,
that's what she's humming.
I didn't know that. No, I didn't.
She's sitting there going. And finally, Hank says, all right. And he goes into Luanne's room. She is there crying face down on the bed because that's what everybody in this show does when they're upset. They cry face down on something. And Hank says, well, hey, Luanne, you know what? I've never climbed into a pool with a big fish. I guess it just never occurred to me. He goes, so maybe the dolphin confrontation would be something I'd be glad I'd done after it was over. She goes, it's an encounter. He goes, oh, even better.
What do you call it, though? A dolphin confrontation?
Confrontation.
Well, it does end up being kind of a confrontation.
It does. All right, so this may be a good time. Well, no, we've already talked about that. We'll get to it in a second. We got some NASA dolphin stuff, and I have some dolphin facts also.
Yeah, we'll knock it out here in a minute.
We're going to in the truck to go to La Grunta, and everybody fits into Hank's truck, which always confounds me because I know how small those trucks are.
Yeah, they're pretty small, but if they got who is it? All four of them, right? That's in this truck. Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, they got the little seats that fold down on the sides or whatever.
I've seen them with the two seats, right? But then, like the one my dad had, it was just like Hank's truck, red, the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
But it had the little fold down seats on the sides.
Yeah, the fold down side seats. I got you.
Which are ridiculous.
They're small. It's like half an ass cheek.
Yeah.
And you're really like, when you're back there, you're like shoulder to shoulder. You got one shoulder on the seat, one shoulder on the back of the vehicle, and half an ass cheek on the seat. It can't be
safe, I wouldn't think, at this point.
I don't know about safe, but it's not very comfortable.
No, it's not comfortable. So they're going into the truck.
I'm not rated to talk about safety in motor vehicles. Like, I don't want to. The government watchdog. I don't need him barking at me.
I'm going to go out on a freaking limb and say it's not safe.
But comfortability, I can't speak on.
So Peggy and everybody else is in the truck. They're waiting on Hank to get out there. You hear Peggy say, "Come on, Hank," from inside the truck. I just put in parentheses, so small. And then as Hank's coming out, he sees the other three guys looking over the fence. So he grabs his golf club so he can kind of mask what he's doing because God knows he doesn't want them to know he's going to have a confrontation with a dolphin.
Yeah.
And
fight a dolphin.
So Dale finally says, "Looks like you're going golfing." He goes, "Yeah, looks like. Didn't know dolphins knew how to play golf." They just all start laughing.
Yeah.
Hank says, "Shut up, Dale," which is that phrase is used several times in this show. We are at La Grunta now, and they are walking into the lobby, this being Hank, Peggy, Luanne, and Bobby. Peggy is reading all throughout the pamphlets about La Grunta. She goes, "They have a store that sells red skeleton paintings. I am there, although I do not like his clowns." Now, do you know anything about Red Skeleton?
I do know who Red Skeleton is. Red Skeleton is one of those early slapstick comedy old comedian, and I believe he was one of those ones that starts off in like the vaudeville, and he does the vaudeville stage stuff. Yeah. And anybody that was doing vaudeville stage at that time, as film was developing, they are the original stage actors, if you will. So they just kind of, switched to film. So
and they were all part of like variety shows on TV and stuff like that.
Like I don't know,
Charleston Cigarettes presents
like Abbott and Costello,
same era.
But like smack dab, I would say he's kind of like in the middle of like the Charlie Chaplin and Abbott and Costello. He was kind of like around that time frame kind of thing.
Yeah, he was.
He had some funny stuff. Yeah.
He's one of those guys that they refer to a lot in things. He's most known for his Red Skeleton show. And Skeleton, not Skeleton.
Yeah, Skeleton. Sorry, yeah.
And oh no, I think it was me too. But anyway, towards the end of his career, he got obsessed with clowns, just like Jerry Lewis did. And I think it's because they think if I start representing myself as like a classically trained clown or a French clown or a this or a that, that maybe it gives them a little more joie de vivre. I don't know exactly why these guys got so into clowns, but he started painting a lot of clowns. And if I'm not mistaken, a lot of them were on like Black Velvet and stuff.
Yeah.
But anyway, he painted a lot of clowns. She is not there for the clowns.
Yeah, and he did burlesque.
Oh, did he really?
Burlesque comedy. I'm not even sure what that encompasses for a man.
I think burlesque at that time just meant that he was probably a host or a comedian on the stage, and then a girl would come out and hide behind a bubble and do that dance, and the feathers and the boas and all that stuff.
Yeah, he actually did a movie with Lucille Ball and Gene Kelly too.
Yeah. He was big for a little while.
Royal Del Ruth's Dewberry was a lady.
Oh, God bless you.
Yeah, that was a mouthful.
So the next thing we see is we pan over to where the buffet is, and it is a big brunch buffet. And, of course, Bobby is the one that notices it. And we see it, and then we see a glistening ice cactus over in the corner. And there's several chefs, like they're ready to serve you, at this beautiful buffet. And Bobby, of course, look at that brunch. And
that's all he's worried about is food. Every time you see food.
Well, Hank looks at the big menu and he goes, "Oh, prime rib for breakfast. Wow, it's true. I guess I owe Bill an apology." They had an argument over whether you could have prime rib for breakfast or not.
You can have whatever you want for breakfast.
But what I'm saying is, I guess those kind of conversations come up when you spend that much time in an alley.
Yeah, I had oatmeal with cinnamon and apples, like the apples and cinnamon cooked on the side and then put inside the oatmeal.
You had that this morning?
Yeah, that was my breakfast.
I had a leftover half of a cheeseburger that I warmed back up and put a fried egg in.
Yeah, that was that.
So there you go.
That was just as good as mine, if not better. What'd you have, Mason?
What'd you have for breakfast, Mason?
I had taquitos.
I swear, I thought you were going to say tequila.
I was like, whoa. All right, good morning.
I had tequila.
I can't say that on here.
Okay, you couldn't say that. Yeah, I can neither confirm nor deny that taquitos were soaked in tequila.
I had tequila. It's the only way I can deal with you people. So he is very upset because Luanne now comes over, hands him a pamphlet, and goes, Uncle Hank, it's time for your dolphin encounter orientation. He goes, boy, look at that beef. And he just watches the chef slicing the prime rib. He starts wandering off, and he goes, I never get brunch.
Never.
It's just so funny because it's so under his breath. He's just talking to himself. I'll never get brunch. We're at the buffet, and Hank, Luanne, and Peggy are filling their plates full of stuff. And Bobby says, to think of all the years I've wasted without capers. They work with the salmon, they work with the little pickles, and I think they might just work with fruit pies.
And I have a fun fact from Artie real fast.
Okay,
for capers.
Capers.
So for those
Welcome
of you
to Caper Talk
that don't know what capers are immature flower buds from the Capare spinosa, which is the caper bush, which grow all over the Mediterranean.
I loved her music in the 80s. Caper bush?
Yeah.
It was good.
They are usually pickled and used as a seasoning or garnish. They are one of the ingredients in tartar sauce and often used in salmon dishes.
Really? They're in tartar sauce?
They're in tartar sauce.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. They are featured heavily in Italian and Greek dishes. The taste is reminiscent of the lemony tang and brininess of olives, but with a smack of flour tardiness all on their own. They have a bold, salty, and savory flavor.
I do like capers. I think they're very good. But to me, they're like very intense little olives. And like if you get a veal piccata or a salmon piccata or something, it usually has the capers in it. It just, I don't know, adds a nice little salty pack punch to it.
Yeah. No, I like them.
I don't know that I would just eat them right out of the jar.
I like them in tartar sauce, and that might be the only place that I like them.
Really? You don't like a veal piccata?
I don't know what that is.
Veal piccata. It's a cream sauce with capers on top of a what is usually a lightly fried piece of veal. So baby cow gets tortured.
Yeah, I know what a veal is.
Then they soak it in milk.
Yeah.
And then they
hang them by their back legs so
Yep.
they can only drink from a straw
It's hard to eat the veal that way too.
upside down.
Oh wait, you're talking about the cows. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
So he says I never get brunch. Bobby is like he can't believe he's never had capers. Everybody else walks off, and then he sees one of the covered dishes, the chafing dishes that's still covered. He opens it up and says, "Oh, hello, what do we have here?" And we just see a big warming tray full of bacon.
Ooh,
And then
like
it's
bacon.
never mentioned again. Like,
You know
I'm
where the
assuming he
best
just eats a
bacon is,
shitload
though?
of bacon.
You know where the best bacon is? Not in the United States. So the United States in England, they call the bacon we have over here, they call it streaky bacon.
Right.
But
Because it's
go
got
over
so much
there,
fat in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you go over there, the bacon they have is more like a ham steak. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like a big, like whenever you say, hey, can I get, some bacon with your breakfast? It's like this big, almost like a pork chop.
Yeah.
But it's bacon.
Yeah.
Flavored like
It's
bacon.
thick.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's so
yeah,
good.
it's still cured like bacon.
So good.
Yeah.
Back
Yeah,
bacon.
I don't
believe
care
is what
for
they call
anything British.
it. Well, you could keep your inferior bacon.
Keep your teeth in your thick bacon.
Why don't you go back to your country, Rusty?
Get on your.
I'm sorry, everybody.
I love that he feels like he had to apologize.
I'm not one to toot my own horn, but I tell you what, my propane-fueled farts could power a small city.
Okay. All right. I'm not sure
There
what
you
that. Yeah. Okay. All right. So we are leaving the buffet. We are now in the conference room for the orientation. And this is the first time we see the trainer, who has a very bowl cut on his head. He says, one man who was healed by dolphins, told me angels are dolphins who haven't learned to swim. And that, it pans over to Hank, and Hank is just like, I hate this. Hank is looking.
He doesn't like all the sentimental touchy-feely.
The angels who haven't learned to swim. Hank, in the meantime, is kind of looking out the window. He's just longing to be out there to play golf.
And I'm going to read this part. That guy goes, people ask me how to approach these wise cetaceans, and I can only say, be honest with them, and they will share their secrets with you. I'm going to lower the lights now so we can watch our video. A dream of dolphins.
Yeah, and they bring down the shades.
And that music's all...
Oh, you hear the music, and then this
yeah.
woman in an Irish accent says, I dive into the gentle sea to free the dolphin inside of me. And Hank just...
Yeah,
he just absolutely hates that.
He's Bwaaing right now.
Yeah.
It's
You know what's funny is, there's a lot of people at this table for this encounter orientation, but Hank's the only one you see interact with a dolphin at all.
Yeah. Well,
It's
he
not
might
like
be the
these people
first
are-
and last though, because the situation got
I'm
awkward
assuming
after
last.
that. So,
Yeah.
just think of this, Mike. If you were the guy that's 3 people back from Hank, and you're kind of peeking over, and you see what we're about to see, you would probably.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
180 on the hell on out of there and
Yeah.
look for the refund desk.
So Hank is now at the pool, at the dolphin pool. He is getting in the pool. Is this the first time we've seen Hank without his shirt? Maybe.
No, I don't think so.
Maybe not.
No, remember in the Twister episode, he gets butt
Oh,
naked.
that's
Yeah, he's
right.
butt
You're
naked
right
in the
about
Twister
that. Yeah.
episode. Yeah, we've seen him without his shirt a few times.
But he's getting in the pool, and we see he has no shirt on. He gets only in waist deep, and we see his beautiful, beautiful farmer's tan. Peggy and Bobby are over there trying to take pictures of him as he does this, and she goes, I don't want any photos. Go take pictures of the golf course. And they just walk off, which is crazy to me.
Yeah.
Luanne sticks around. Now, I've drawn a small representation of what the pool looks like from overhead. We have the little house that you get ready in here, and then there's what looks to me, it looks like it feeds out into like a larger lake or something.
Well,
but
it's
they call
probably
it a pool.
it's probably
It's like a man-made little
so
inlet.
That kind of gets us into the NASA stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of describes what that is. It's called a dolphinarium.
Ah, really?
A dolphinarium.
Dolphinarium?
Yeah, that's the
That seems lazy
for
naming.
the that's the terminology that you get for this. And the one that they had there at this NASA experiment was a little more extreme than what you're talking about.
Yeah, because it was in space.
Yeah. It was.
It
in
was
space.
not in
It was not in
space.
space. It was actually in the Caribbean.
Yeah,
but
dolphins can't.
I'll
fly.
get there. We're not quite there just yet.
All right. So Bobby and Peggy walk off. Luanne sticks behind. And the trainer says, they can feel negative energy. Just relax. And he hands Hank a dead fish. Hank holds the fish up, and the trainer goes, go! And then the dolphin jumps over Hank, grabs the fish, and Hank's a little wowed by this.
Yeah, he is.
He's like, whoa, that was a
him out.
mighty fine catch. And then he just kind of touches the dolphin. He goes, it kind of feels like rubber. And then he grabs onto the dolphin, who is named Duke. We know this because there is a poster behind Duke on the wall that says Duke. And then I believe the trainer calls him Duke. He says, hold on to Duke's fin. Let him take you. And Hank hangs onto his fin, and then he starts riding him around. They go under the water, over the water, all
just
around
having
the tank.
fun.
Yeah, it's great. And Hank says, hey, look at me. Hey, Luanne, this isn't as asinine as I thought. It's a hell of a compliment.
He's having a good time.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter what it is. If it looks asinine before he does it, he has to be – you have to get him to the point of actually doing it. And then he realized how much fun it is to have fun. I'm not gonna like the magic show. I'm not gonna trick you into letting me have some fun.
That's right. Yeah. So
Luanne got him on this one though. She tricked him.
He comes up and says, "Luanne, this isn't as asinine as I thought." And she goes, "Thanks," and she's just waving and stuff.
Yeah. Then this is where it gets uncomfortable.
Yeah. And then here comes the dolphin. Everybody's having a good time. The dolphin rolls over, and Hank's petting him. And then you see Duke's belly start to turn red.
It turns red, yeah. Similar to a dog's penis.
Sure.
When it gets excited.
Sure. He goes, boy, I tell you what, this one, just a second, Duke. Hey, cut it out. And Duke starts like poking at him and head-butting him and all this stuff around the tank.
Yeah.
He basically starts pushing Hank all around the tank. Whoa, what's going on? The trainer says, there's nothing wrong, but maybe you should get out of the pool immediately. There's nothing wrong, but you should get out immediately.
Yeah, you should get out immediately.
He's knocking Hank all around. The dolphin is attacking. He's like, what do I do? And the trainer says, just have fun. Get the manager out here. He pulls out the little flip phone and says, get the manager out here.
Yeah.
And then he has pinned Hank up against the windows. And then we see outside of those windows, Bobby and Peggy are out there, and Bobby is posing with the flamingos. And he's doing like a little flamingo stand, and he goes, how's this? And he's posing like a flamingo, and she goes, well, that is perfect. No, wait, hey, one with the flash just to be safe. And in the meantime, in the back, we see Hank just being humped to death by a dolphin in this tank.
Tore up. This dolphin is hammering him.
It is rough. Okay,
yeah,
let's.
I've got some.
Hang on one second. This is a commercial break.
Let's
take a quick commercial break, and then we're going to come back. We're going to talk about the NASA stuff and more stuff to do with dolphins, and get to the rest of this episode.
And we'll be right back with more asinine conversation about dolphins banging human beings.
That's my dolphin sound. Hey guys, it's Mike from Bwaaa. I wanted to remind you just real quick of our official, unofficial meeting place. That is Hotel Arlen. So head over to Twitter and look up at Hotel Arlen. They are not that kind of hotel anymore. Please leave a post, follow, like, subscribe, whatever they ask you to do on Twitter at this point. And if you wanted to, you could also include hashtag Hotel Arlen and hashtag BWAAKOTH. Thanks. All right, we are back. Those are some fabulous ads. Now, Rusty, you promised a little information about NASA and dolphins.
Yeah, so this is how your tax dollars are spent, ladies and gentlemen, by our government. This is a joint research project. There was a man named John C. Lilly. He was a neuroscientist with California Institute of Technology. So the woman we're going to be talking about mostly is a woman named Margaret Howe Lovett, Lovatt.
This would be in California.
Yeah. She. No, it's not California. It's the Caribbean. this is where it takes place in the Caribbean. So in her early 20s, Margaret lived on Caribbean island of St. Thomas, and she was there at this laboratory where they researched dolphins. Well, there was a director. His name was Gregory Bateson, and he allowed her to observe the dolphin behavior, and he was really impressed with her enthusiasm and diligence as an observer, despite the lack of her any kind of scientific training.
Yeah.
So while she was volunteering at this dolphin behavior laboratory, she met John C. Lilly, and he's a neuroscientist with California Institute of Tech.
Okay.
And he was building a research lab with funding from NASA and the United States Navy with the goal of speaking to extraterrestrial life forms.
Of course.
So dolphins were going to be the
Dolphins are so weird.
dolphins
to
are
us.
the test dummies for us to talk to and try to teach how to speak
Dolphins
English.
are so weird to Americans that even our scientists go, well, if we can talk to dolphins, surely we can talk to aliens.
Yes, pretty much. That's how it came, and thanks for all the fish. In order to simulate this situation, he built a dolphinarium, which was pretty much a dolphin house.
That was a Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy
Yes, it
reference,
was.
right? Okay.
Douglas Adams.
Yeah.
A male bottlenose dolphin named Peter. Oh, hold on. I kind of got ahead of myself.
Talking
sorry.
about dolphin Peters.
In order to simulate this situation, he built a dolphinarium, which was a dolphin house flooded with water there on the island of St. Thomas. So Lily accommodated to 3 dolphins. She lived in these accommodations. I don't think she lived directly with them, but it was like this dolphin flooded house thing for these dolphins to live in.
Sure.
And there was 2 females named Sissy and Pamela, and there was a younger male bottlenosed dolphin named Peter, who is Margaret and Peter is the major part of the discussion here in just a second. But these dolphins were taken from Marine Studios, which these dolphins had all been co-starring in the television show Flipper.
Oh, really?
So these are the Flipper dolphins. These are the, and it's funny how Hollywood ties into some of this stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So in 1964, the dolphinarium was fully functional, and Lily was often traveling.
Oh, hell yeah. That's the time when Hollywood loved dolphins.
Yeah. So the doctor, Dr. Lilly was often traveling, so he signed her to train the dolphins. He wanted this Margaret Lovett to train these dolphins because she had no scientific training, but she had intimate knowledge of the dolphins by spending lots and lots of time with dolphins. She got to learn them and everything, how they operate and stuff like that.
I don't like that phrasing, but okay.
Yeah, I don't really like that phrasing either. But I mean, she did. She had a relationship with these dolphins. So
Again.
the goal of this dolphinarium was this experiment was to teach dolphins the human language. So there was this period of 2 years where the doctor and Margaret, with very different approaches, tried to prove that human language could be mimicked by dolphins. So Margaret reasoned that if she lived with the dolphins and made human-like sounds, similar to how a mother teaches a child how to speak, then there would be some type of success. So she was embedded with these dolphins for 24/7, always with these dolphins. So
she was the Jane Goodall of dolphins.
Yeah, if you will.
Yeah,
if you will. And if you will, you could check out Christopher Riley's documentary, The Girl Who Talked to Dolphins, and it's all about her as well. So there's actual information on it.
Oh, that's cool.
She tried speaking slowly to him and changing the pitch of her tone to help Peter. Peter was the one that she thought she would end up having the most success with since he was the youngest one.
That conjures up just this picture in my head of somebody speaking slowly to a dolphin. You know, just, my name is Mary.
Yeah. So I don't understand. Like I don't know if the morphology is there for them to have, because there's some animals that they do have the same, like some of the similar morphology that we have of our vocals, our vocal cords.
Yeah, right.
But maybe they can't express language the same way that we can, and their noise is different. I don't know. Mm-hmm. But so
I wish dogs could talk to us.
Yeah, I do too.
I really
do.
do.
Crazy.
Dogs.
So Margaret spends a lot of time with this male dolphin named Peter. So she starts to document her progress. They do twice daily lessons. She tries to encourage him to say the words. And according to her, the M sound is extremely difficult for Peter to pronounce without making bubbles in the water. Okay. So now we get into the weird shit, the Hank-related weird shit. Okay, so
it's just the M that's really getting him.
Yeah, the M.
He has
that's
a hard
getting
time
him.
saying M without blowing bubbles in the water.
Yeah. So, Peter, being an adolescent dolphin, frequently had sexual urges, which included rubbing himself on Margaret.
Sure.
Well, all these urges disrupted Peter's lessons, and taking Peter to a downstairs pool with the two females proved to be a logistical issue. So it would, she's already there with him, and they're working together. So eventually she got to where she was relieving them on...
Shut up.
Relieving him.
For real?
She was doing it because he was a frustrated,
just hand stuff,
adolescent
though, right?
dolphin. So she would help him. Whatever doesn't say whatever the help was, she was helping.
Okay.
And
they went through so many pies.
Yes, so many. And the quote from her is, "It wasn't sexual on my part, sensuous perhaps.
Sensuous.
It seemed to me that it made our bond closer, not because of the sexual activity, but
no
because
shit,
of
lady.
the lack of having to keep breaking." And that's all it really was. I was there to get to know Peter. That was part of Peter. It would just become part of what was going on, like an itch. Just get rid of that scratch, and we would be done and move on. So she said in order to facilitate the part of education, she would relieve him so they could focus on the task at hand.
Sure, yeah. Say your M's, Peter.
Yeah,
Okay.
say your M's.
One more hand job, but that's it.
There was also a inflammatory article that came out in Hustler that kind of dramatized the situation and also kind of like did a lot of bad
Hustler,
reflection.
usually known for their great...
It was called Interspecies Sex, Humans and Dolphins was the name of the deal. And other problems aroused surrounding the project. So the project had these other pitfalls that are kind of exciting to talk about too real
Other
quick.
problems, what?
Other problems that arose around the research.
You said arouse.
Arose.
I was like,
up,
ooh,
down,
there's
erected,
a Freudian slip.
Yeah, some
There you go.
erected, the problems that erected popped up, whatever you call it. So, in addition to the communication research, he had also been, Dr. Lilly had also been funded to research the effects of the drug LSD.
Oh, good.
So they were testing the effects of the drug on dolphins with zero results. So neither the communication nor the LSD research were fruitful, and eventually they lost all their funding. Due to the loss
Thank
of all their
God
funding,
somebody took the money away from these people.
yeah, it gets worse though. It gets bad at least for the Dolphins or whatever. So due to the lack of the funding, the Dolphins were moved to a different facility in a repurposed bank building in Miami. So in the bank building, they're now in smaller tanks and they lack sunlight and space. So Peter quickly deteriorated and eventually ended his life by drowning. A dolphin activist, Rick O'Berry, explains, dolphins are not automatic air breathers like we are. Every breath is a conscious effort. If life becomes too unbearable, the dolphins just take a breath, they sink to the bottom, and that's it.
Oh, my God.
So
I had no idea
I
that
had
dolphins
no idea
kill
that
themselves.
either. So Peter, all through his adolescent years, was jacked off by this woman. And this is sad, guys. I'm not trying to be. I mean, it's just it's a sad story. But how many dolphins are in dolphin heaven saying, "Hey, man, I was jacked off for like a good 8 or 9 years by this chick out there in St. Thomas, and it was beautiful." And then
And guess what?
I
They're
died in a
never going
bank.
to talk to them aliens.
That's how
I didn't give them
fucked up-
shit.
That's how fucked up the human race is we put dolphins in banks. We put dolphins in old bank buildings in small tanks, and then they off themselves.
Yeah, I don't really blame them for offing themselves. I just didn't know it happened.
That's terrible. Yeah. So on that note,
So I have,
What do you have?
some information here entitled "Dolphins Get Horny Too."
oh, okay.
It says marine mammals share quite a bit in common with humans when it comes to sex. This is by Allison Larkham. This is an article I found online. She says, in recent odd news, a horny dolphin off the coast of France forced an entire beach to ban swimming for the rest of the season. The local dolphin, dubbed Zafar by beachgoers, was reportedly in heat and would spend the days dry humping kayaks and attempting to rub up against swimmers with his pink penis that was about 20 centimeters. How big's a centimeter?
I have no
okay.
clue. A centimeter.
So
is about
20
as
is
big
how
as,
many? Give me 20.
Isn't 12?
20's about
Isn't
I think 20 is about a couple inches. Give me some.
Yeah.
Oh,
maybe.
really?
maybe?
Oh,
Well, let's just do the math. Let's
That's
see.
not that big.
20 centimeters in inches is
7 inches.
7 inches.
Oh, 7 inches. Okay. Well,
Mm.
that could be perceived as a threat. Its penis was about 20 centimeters and often erect. The town's mayor warned people to stay at least 150 feet. That'll do it for a 7-inch penis. 150 feet away from Zafar for safety's sake, unless the dolphin unintentionally drowned someone by getting too excited. We go to male dolphins can masturbate. It says they possess prehensile penises that can move and operate like an arm. Usually, instead of humping kayaks or swimmers, they grab live, wriggling eels or dead fish, wrapping them around their penises to masturbate with. How fun. Also says dolphins can be gay. Studies show that many male dolphins engage in gay sex acts when they are young, although oft-discussed blowhole sex seems to be a myth. As they approach adulthood and inevitably procreation, they transition to being bisexual. Dolphin sex is kinky. Dolphin sex takes place under daunting conditions. The marine mammals must contend with the ocean's ever-moving currents, and when they do the deed, to become pregnant, there must be no seawater leakage into the female's uterus. Dolphins can sexually assault one another. Although humans don't know exactly what's going on in dolphins' minds, one of their behaviors looks a lot like rape. It typically involves either a lone male dolphin or a group of 5 or 6 that gang up on a female, aggressively corralling her away using force like tail bashing, head butting, biting, and body slamming to restrain her.
Oh, wow.
These guys are cute as hell. Also have a article here about a 10-year-old attacked by dolphins. This is by World Animal Protection. It says, tourism industry has painted dolphins as smiling playmates, but what dangers does the captive dolphin industry really pose to humans and animals? A 10-year-old British girl was attacked by captive dolphins while on Swimming with Dolphins experience sold by travel giant TUI. Luckily, the girl survived, although she was left with several cuts, bruises, and bite marks. So this I believe, happens more than you would think.
Yeah, there's actually a story I have real fast, and then we can get back to actual King of the Hill instead of dolphin penises. But there was a article from a guy named Eric Vance.
Welcome to Dolphin
He worked
Junk.
at Marine World, and he observed a lot of behavior of these dolphins, and they were 4 adolescent boys.
Yeah.
And he said that it was funny because, well, I don't know if it's funny or not, whatever you think's funny. He says, but they were they were real interested in their penises kind of thing.
Okay.
So there was 4 of them, and they would all kind of just like play with each other's, like the dolphins would engage in,
Sure.
helping each other out kind of
Yeah.
thing. And he said that one of the things that dolphins do in the wild sometimes is that these small little pods of males will help each other out in this way.
That's nice.
And it's a way of bonding.
sweet.
And then they later help each other in cruising for chicks. So they jack each other off, and then according to you, the story you just told, they then go later on when they get older and bigger, chase women down and beat them up.
Yeah, they're
dangerous.
wonderful, wonderful creatures. It's just like any
dangerous.
other thing that we have.
Dolphins are frat bros.
Yeah, that's true. They're just like any other animal, though, that we have made so cute. Just like a polar bear or something. They're vicious.
Isn't that a Family Guy skit? I'm pretty sure Family Guy's probably done that before. If they haven't, they probably have.
Probably off the top of my head, maybe. I don't know. Dolphins are assholes. But
Off the top of my head, maybe.
Please
don't
don't
know.
eat them.
Yeah, please eat dolphins.
Please don't eat dolphins.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was coming across on the other side. I think healthy debate is healthy. All right, so he tells him to hang on to his fin. Again, he is being humped up against the windows while his family is out taking pictures with flamingos. We come back from the commercial break, and Hank is just sopping wet still. And I put down that he is in almost a fetal position. He's sitting up instead of laying down, but he's got his legs up under him, the whole thing, and he is wrapped in a towel just dripping wet. The cameraman is standing there who filmed this entire thing, which I know Hank loves. He goes, excuse me, is it safe to assume you won't be purchasing a videotape of your dolphin encounter? And holds out this giant VHS tape to him. He goes, get out of here. You're in trouble. All of you. That fish better have had its shots. And then out comes the food and drink manager, because that's the person who handles all this
Yeah,
stuff.
Mr. Hill, I'm the food and recreation director here at La Grunta. That thing attacked me. That's not what my niece paid for, is it?
She goes,
No.
No. And then she looks at the cameraman and goes, is it?
Y'all
Like that
use me
would be
for
a thing
chum.
like that would be a thing you'd pay for. He goes, yeah, y'all use me for chum. That stupid fish could have drowned me. Yeah, the trainer goes, Mr. Hill, there is no way on earth Duke would have let you drown. That dolphin loves you a lot. Hank says, that's a damn funny way to show it. The food and recreation manager says, Mr. Hill, Duke has the same desires as we all do. With all of your fondling, Duke became aroused and was attempted to become physically intimate with you.
Imagine just finding out you aroused a dolphin.
Hank goes,
Hank of all people, too. You know.
Hank just got a shudder.
It's got to be a dilemma.
God.
Yeah, he's got to be going through it.
The guy says, it's a compliment, really. Hank's like, he just makes retching noises. I don't know that I've ever heard Hank make a retching noise.
No, not yet. He's gagging it out.
And then Luanne says, he's not going to get away with this. Give me that tape. I'm sending this to when animals attack. They'll fly us out to Hollywood because it's going to win. Hank says, Luanne, please, no one is going to see that tape. By the way, when animals attack, 1996, Fox TV. It was only on for 1 year. But it was a big deal.
Yeah, in syndication, it ran for about a decade. They would replay the hell out of it.
It's one of the first real reality show.
Do you remember
things,
the
YouTube-based kind of stuff?
The cop videos they would have, not cops, but like.
When they had a bunch of whatever
that
guy,
and he would have what was it? Worst police videos or whatever. The worst cop, and it was always like the guy. It was the guy with white hair, and he was always in like cop stuff, standing beside a cop. And just remember, when driving, don't drink or something. I don't know.
When I was teaching at high school here in town. We had the opportunity to fix McGruff, the crime dog robot. Have I ever told you that story?
No. You might have, but tell it again. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, they used to bring the McGruff, the crime dog robot to us. And my kids, because we worked on computers and stuff like that, they wanted us to fix this crime dog. Let me tell you, if you ever saw McGruff, the crime dog, as the robot that comes out and talks to you, it is not that complicated. Inside McGruff, the crime robot, there is a cassette tape that plays what McGruff says and also plays the song Bad Boys, What You Gonna Do?
Okay, I figured it out. It was the world's wildest police videos. I'm John Bonnell.
I don't know.
You don't remember John Bonnell? Come on, everybody remembers John Bonnell.
I remember his daughter.
John Bonnell?
John Bonnell Ramsey.
That guy? Oh, hold on.
Oh, yeah. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. Hi, I'm John Bonnell, former sheriff of Multnomah County, Oregon.
Really?
Yeah, that's the county that he was in. He would say that because in the what it was is he was in like some early episodes of Cops, and then they picked him up because they liked him in the Fox. People saw him, and they picked him up to host this world's wildest police videos. And I always remember the commentary. Hi, I'm John Bonnell.
So he tells Luanne that nobody is going to see that tape. The food and drink manager says, now, Mr. Hill, let's move past the blame game. I don't care who led who on. Now, if you'll sign our waiver form, Luanne says, Uncle Hank. And he continues and says, your family's brunch is free. That handsome bathrobe is yours, along with a beautiful gift basket, and we'll throw in 25 La Grunta dollars.
Yeah.
And what's weird to me is that Hank agrees to it really quickly. He's just like, fine. I guess he just wants to get it over with.
Probably, yeah.
So the guy says, we'll go get the form. And then he says, Luanne, you and I have a secret that we must take to our graves. And then Luanne says, are you threatening to kill me, Uncle Hank? And he finally says, of course not. But there is a big ass pause right in the middle of that.
They would. I would literally, if that would happen to me at La Grunta, and if I was Hank and I was signing a document, I would literally have to have a lifetime of. But just like I could walk into La Grunta and there's a room, especially with my name. That the only thing that happens is it's cleaned, but it's my room. Yeah. And I could keep whatever and be whatever. But they would.
But Luanne picked up on the fact that Hank is like, you tell somebody, I'm gonna kick your ass.
Are you threatening to kill me, Hank? Yeah. Of course not.
Yeah, but there's a big old pause, man. Big old pregnant pause.
Well, he's just letting her know that if the secret gets out, there's going to be more than one.
I'll know who it is
because
it ain't going to be me.
Yeah.
So we're back at the Hill House. We're at the breakfast table. Hank is still in his robe. Now we see Peggy's in a robe. She's in slippers. Bobby's in a La Grunta Dolphin shirt, which he keeps on for the entire episode.
Yeah, he does.
Peggy says, they're right. La Grunta is the greatest. They even have extra wide slippers for the full-footed woman.
At fullfootedwoman.com.
I'm sure that is an actual thing.
If it's not, it will be.
Bobby is taking stuff out of the gift basket. They're both looking at all this crap. Peggy says, "Oh, Luanne, honey, how could you afford all these things?" Luanne says, how could I afford not to? She goes, no, Luanne, what I really meant was, and Hank says, I don't know how she could be so dang generous either. You didn't steal them, did you? You didn't, right? And then he walks off. Peggy says, honey, did you try the capers with your fruit pies? Talking to Bobby. He goes, yeah, that was a real disappointment. I'd rather not talk about it. So
I'm not sure why he would
I don't know.
pair the two. That sounds disappointing.
Yeah, he thinks a lot of stuff. Next thing we see is Hank getting a fishing pole out of the closet because he just wants to go and do something else. And Luanne comes up behind him in the hall and says, we're doing great. They don't suspect a thing. He goes, you see that? It's like it never happened. But Luanne, you can't mention it to me even, or it's like it did happen. You see? She goes,
he's got a teacher. He said if we're not going to talk about it,
Yeah.
nobody.
Then nobody talks about it.
Nobody.
That's
Not
right.
you, not me. Yeah.
That's right.
End of conversation.
So we are out on the lake with the boys fishing. We're in that boat that we
speaking
were
of lake, did you see that
giving
in the
crack
news?
to fish with.
I don't know. It is not
What,
relevant
lake?
to anybody. Yeah, they're talking about creating a lake near Waco Creek, which would be by the old Floyd Casey. So they're talking about having a lake.
Huh. That seems like an odd place for a lake, but all
How
right.
would they do that when at this point, as of this recording, the lake is like just over 50% capacity?
They're using water from some other from a different river that doesn't feed to that lake. I don't
It's just
think.
from the hose, man. They just
I
turn the
guess.
hose
How they're
on
doing
for a
it.
week.
Well, because there is a creek. We do have a creek that floods often, so they're gonna just funnel all that flood water that floods into a lake. But
Flood water that floods. All right, so we are out on the lake with the boys in the boat. Like I said, it's the same boat that we were out feeding crack to fish with.
yeah, crackfish.
And Dale is holding up a couple of beer bottles, and he goes, ooh, La Grunta Microbrewery. Again, we get with the shut up, Dale. He goes, you can't say shut up. I haven't made fun of you going to the hotel yet. He goes, how long are you going to beat this into the ground? Hotel is history. I thought I could have a morning without hearing about the Dolphin, but I guess not. So what's your damn Dolphin joke? He goes, now you ruined it. Good. Then Bill sees that Hank hooks a fish. He's starting to get it in. He pulls it up. And Bill, of course, being Bill, says, oh, Hank's got one. I got hooksies. And he gets the...
Yeah, who in the hell? I have never been fishing with
hooksies.
grown men that say, I got hooksies and pull off
hooksies.
the other fish for another grown man. You don't
Well,
touch another man's pole.
It is a or a dolphin's, and you get Bill taking the fish off. We see that it's a big. It looks like a channel cat to me, like a catfish, and it comes off. It falls into Hank's lap, starts flopping around. Hank has PTSD, freaks out, and goes, "Oh, get it off!" And the fish finally flops back into the water. After another pregnant pause, Bill goes, "It was an ugly fish. I got a little scared too." So, trying to make Hank feel better, I guess.
I guess so.
We're back at the Hill house. This is at nighttime. Hank is sitting on the bed. Peggy is in the bathroom, and she is using one of those thermometers you stick in your ear to take her temperature. So she goes, 98.8 degrees. Well, you can have it your way, Mr. Egg. We can wait just as long as you. You're not dealing with a couple of hormone-crazed teenagers here. Come on! So they're still trying to have a baby? Because she is taking her temperature to see when she's ovulating. But does this ever get brought back up? It's a weird thing, right?
Yeah, it is kind of weird.
They were probably written out of order.
Yeah,
and
maybe
just
so.
Because I mean, animate at this, especially in the 90s.
Oh yeah.
maybe
this
so.
This okay. So if you notice in this episode, okay, here you go. If you notice in this episode, Luanne's hair's kind of short.
Yeah.
It's not full length like it is in a couple episodes. So this episode, I'm gonna bet that the production of this episode was before its air date, and it was one of those ones that was kind of switched around a little bit.
Yeah. I wonder
Which
if
is
there
tr-
were
which is
problems.
possible.
I wonder if there were problems with this story, like getting it approved or something that caused it to be delayed.
I don't know. Well, nah, I wouldn't say that because there's other episodes that we've watched. I remember we had a fan one time say, "Hey, your episodes are out of order," telling us they're out of order because they were out of order.
I remember
on
that, yeah.
the DVD.
Yeah.
The DVD had put them in the production order, not the order that they released in.
Right.
And the
You get that
production
a
order
lot
and the
with shows like
release
this,
is
though.
different.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's probably what happened with this. It was probably that kind of a thing.
So
here.
it just kind of caught me off guard because I'm thinking, well, that doesn't really ever happen again. And so we hear a knock on the door, and it is Bobby. And Hank says, "Okay, we're decent." Bobby comes in and says, "Turn down service. Here's your hotel mints," and starts putting little mints, which I'm assuming came out of the basket, on their pillows. Bobby is still in this Dolphin shirt that he's very, very proud of at this point. Peggy says, "Bingo, it's time. Oh, yeah." Which is the sexiest way to introduce yourself into a lovemaking position. She takes off her glasses, starts inching over to Hank. She pulls, she gets up onto the bed and starts like inching over, right? And that's what makes the bed start to squeak. When it squeaks, it sounds like a dolphin. Whatever that sound is, right?
Yeah.
That makes Hank scream. He pulls the covers up over himself like he's just frightened. Peggy immediately says, "Hank, what's wrong with you?" And then we hear another knock at the door, and it's Bobby outside, and he goes, "Are you guys going to eat those mints?" Which is wonderful.
Which is a good one, yeah.
I like it a lot.
Bobby will eat anything.
So we're at the golf course now, and Luanne is bringing the drinks to the same 3 golfers that she did before, so these guys are obviously there all the time. The guy is saying, "It was a good day for it, too. Hey, all right, drink girl. Hey, the drink girl gets to take my putt for me." And she goes, "Oh, I don't know how." He goes, "It's easy." And you can see where this is going. You know, he walks her over to take his putt, starts putting his arms around her, gets behind her. He goes, "Here, I'll show you. Now relax the grip. Keep your arms straight. Shoulders back. Now flex those knees. Bend your waist. Hey, you have good form." Pats her on the butt while she's doing that. Luanne is obviously very uncomfortable.
Very uncomfortable. He's sexually assaulting her.
He really is. And she goes, "Sorry, I got to go." He goes, wait, the lesson's not over yet. I mean, we didn't pay for our drink. She goes, "That's okay," and just squeals off in the golf cart. So she obviously has been made to feel very uncomfortable by this touching that was unwarranted and the quote-unquote golf lessons.
Yeah.
We're in the kitchen now. Luanne is looking in the fridge, and Bobby comes in, and he goes, "Coming through." Just like I'm sure he's done a million times, right? Because if he wants to go to the fridge, ain't nothing getting in Bobby's way. And he kind of touches her at the same time. She goes, "Don't touch me." He goes, "Oh, I'm sorry." She goes, "Oh, that's okay. You didn't do anything." He goes, "Is something wrong?" She says, "Oh, I shouldn't tell anyone." He goes, "Well, you didn't tell me. I figured it out." She says, "Well, I guess." They have the most unique conversations, by the way, because they're both kind of idiots.
Yeah, they're out of there. They're both a little different.
She goes, "Bobby, some of the men on the golf course got fresh with me." He goes, "Did they use any swear words?" "Well, that doesn't count, Bobby. Who gives a shit?"
Yeah.
She goes, "No, it was more physical." And then in comes Hank. He says, "Did you report them?" She goes, "Well, no, then everyone would know. Besides, I shouldn't have taken the putt in the first place. That was unprofessional." He goes, "Luanne, that's crazy." She goes, "Well, you didn't tell anyone when you were." And he goes, "Luanne, please." She goes, "You see, it's better just put these things behind you. If you can make it work, so can I." He goes, "Well, wait a minute." And she starts leaving the room. She goes, "Sorry, can't talk about it." And then Bobby pops up with, "Well, now I'm not so sure I want to be a golf drink girl." Now we are at the next day. We're at breakfast. Bobby is still in the same damn Dolphin shirt. So this is at least 2 days, maybe 3, that he's been in this shirt. He is digging capers out of the jar, and he goes, "Dad, we're down to 2 jars of capers. Down to 2 jars of capers."
That's getting tragic.
Hank says, "Well, we can't get any more." He goes, "What? What does that mean? How hard can it be?" He goes, "You don't want to know." Peggy says, "What are you doing, Luanne?" Because Luanne comes in. She's in a dumpy clothes that are obviously too big for her. Everything seems to be brown.
Yeah.
She's got these glasses that keep falling down her face that are square. She goes, "Looking pretty in public is just asking for trouble, so I borrowed some of your clothes." My only issue with this is, and I understand where Luanne's going with this, right? She's trying to cloak her body so that people won't touch her without her knowing. But the glasses. I'm assuming Peggy's prescription is a pretty good prescription. Peggy can't see real well.
She probably can't see shit.
That's what I'm saying. So
she's probably looking like drunk goggles. She's probably getting a headache. If you wear someone else's glasses for too long, you'll get a headache for sure. You're not seeing right. You're looking through fractured lenses that are supposed to be for someone else's eyes.
Bobby pops up, and he's still in the caper conversation.
Yeah, he's worried about capers.
Okay, so I'm just saying there's 2 jars I'm going to get me through the weekend. And Hank just goes, "No." Peggy says, and this is after they both leave, she goes, "All right, Hank, I'm nobody's fool. What exactly is going on?" Hank gets up and closes the pocket door. Do you ever have a pocket door in your house?
I don't know what a pocket door is.
So a pocket door is a door that slides into the wall, and then you slide it open to close.
No, we don't have none of those.
Yeah, I had one of those in our house when I was growing up. The door slides into the wall, basically, and then you can slide it back out. But he slides close the pocket door so nobody will listen. He goes, it was a dolphin. He attacked me. She goes, I see. He goes, no, it was more than that. Remember the movie on Lifetime? You know what Gregory Harrison did to Valerie Bertinelli? She goes, oh, my God. Oh, I never. Well, actually, I've had a dog hump my leg. Oh, it doesn't feel good, does it? He says, no. He also says, I thought ignoring it would make it better, but it just made it worse for everyone. And, you know, I've never said this about anything, but it feels good to talk about it, which is a very funny
joke for Hank.
By the way, let me cover this Gregory Harrison, Valerie Bertinelli reference here.
Yeah, go ahead.
The answer on IMDb says that it's the movie In a Child's Name, which came out in 1991. IMDb rating of 7.7 out of 10. It is classified as a biography drama thriller. It says it's a true story about a woman who fights her brother-in-law's parents for custody of her deceased sister's baby upon learning that her brother-in-law murdered her sister. So it sounds very much like a Lifetime movie to me. However, I could not find Gregory Harrison on the cast list. But that seems to be the answer that everybody goes with for some reason. Now, Valerie Bertinelli, you know what she was on, right? You know the reference to Valerie Bertinelli?
No, I don't. I don't know who that is.
She was in a show called One Day at a Time, which was a Norman Lear show.
Okay.
Came out about the same time as, you know, Happy Days was popular and all that stuff. She was also married to Eddie Van Halen. So that is her kind of claim to fame, those two things. Now, Gregory Harrison, the big thing he was known for was he played Gonzo, which was a doctor on this show, Trapper John M.D. Trapper John M.D. was a spinoff of the show MASH. Trapper John was one of the characters. Trapper John was back in the U.S. He was an actual doctor working at this hospital, and Gregory Harrison played the goofy doctor that lived in an RV out in the hospital parking lot and worked close with Trapper John. Now, Trapper John was played by Parnell Roberts, who was on Bonanza for a very long time. He was one of the kids from
I know Bonanza.
Yeah. Now, the one time I did see Valerie Bertinelli and Gregory Harrison together was when they were on the show Battle of the Network Stars 7. This aired November 2nd of 1979 and teamed up Valerie Bertinelli, Gregory Harrison, Catherine Lee Scott, Alan Williams, Judy Norton-Taylor, Ed Asner, Jan Smithers, and Howard Hessman. This was on CBS. Do you know anything about Battle of the Network Stars?
I don't know about that either, no.
Okay. So Battle of the Network Stars started, I think, in like 78 or something. It was on TV. And what it lists it as television stars and contestants of three major networks, ABC, NBC, and CBS, so before Fox, battle each other in a variety of games, including tug-of-war and obstacle course. Howard Cosell originally hosted that.
Didn't they make fun of that once on that 70s show?
Yeah, I'm sure they did. Battle of the Network Stars was cheap programming where you could put stars against each other, like doing tug-of-war or running an obstacle course or something like that. And it was fine. It was fine television programming at the time. You'd have Mork on there or whatever.
Yeah, Mork and Mindy.
Yeah. You'd have people of the time, from network shows. They would show up and they would try to beat each other at this obstacle course is all it was.
Oh, so it would just be their characters from the show?
No. It'd be them as real people.
Oh, them as real people.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it was... it's been rebooted 3 or 4 times too. I think the last one was something like 2002 or something. I mean, it's been they've tried it several times because it's super cheap.
Yeah.
To do a show like this.
It doesn't take much, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't take a lot of resources, and plus you get names that are out there. So he says, it's like that time when Gregory Harrison, he did that thing to Valerie Bertinelli. That's when Peggy says, oh, my God, I've had a dog hump my leg. He says, well, it feels good to talk about it. She goes, that's good, Hank. Come on. Just let it all out. It is so horrible. I mean, that creature swimming at you with that hungry look, waving his, does he even have Hank says, it's a mammal, Peggy. She goes, oh, well, then of course he would. I'm sorry. He is a mammal and would have mammalian organs roughly in proportion to body size, I'm guessing. He goes, that's enough talking about this for now. She goes, whatever feels best. This is this is also disorienting.
Yeah.
It's hard not to I mean, did he know where to go? And he's just like, Peggy. She just can't get enough of this dolphin trying to hump you talk. Yeah,
she's fixated on it for sure.
So now
that's a very unique experience.
It is crazy.
To go through.
Yeah,
like,
it's crazy.
I feel bad for Hank.
But again,
sure.
This is kind of more evidence of Peggy is a terrible person, because what she's concerned with is, what did its thing look like? Did it know where to put it? And how scary was it to see its thing?
Yeah.
So we're in the alley now with the guys, and Hank is just unloading this information. He goes, I don't know what I'm going to do, but it starts with not lying about what happened. It's the dolphin who ought to be ashamed of himself. Giant pregnant pause, and then all the guys just bust out laughing. I mean, they're just laughing and laughing until Bill cycles into crying again. He says, it happened to me. The same thing happened to me 6 years ago and 4 years ago. Holy shit, Bill. 6 years and 4 years ago. Everybody says, what? He goes, oh, yeah, I saved up the 150 and I was going to live it up. I was going to live it up like the big boys, swimming with the dolphins. It was going to turn my life around and give me my confidence back. And Hank says, well, what did you do about it? He goes, those hotel guys bought me off with this T-shirt. The difference between what Hank got and what Bill got out of these two experiences is breathtaking. Because Bill ended up with a wife beater T-shirt. That's all. It's only, it doesn't even say La Grunta on it or anything. He's just got a wife beater. And he goes, it made me feel cheap and used, but it breathes nice. Hank says, all right, well, there's one thing I can do. Quit drinking that hotel beer. I'm going to take it back. Yeah. He takes the beer from the guys, and then we get this montage of Hank picking up all the La Grunta stuff. He's finally pissed off with them. He's going to take it back and give it back to them. He takes the capers and the T-shirt right off of Bobby. He takes a very slobbery ball out of Lady Bird's mouth. And then we see him packing all this stuff up in the bedroom, and Peggy is standing there. She's still got the damn robe on. She goes, good for you, Hank Hill. You throw those 30 pieces of silver right back at him. And then she kicks the slippers for the full-footed lady right under the bed.
Yeah.
She
don't want them going anywhere. She likes them bad boys. It's hard to get skis for her feet.
He goes, the slippers too, Peggy. She goes, oh, a pair of slippers isn't going to give you your dignity back. You were humped by a dolphin. Yeah. He says, come on, Peggy. She finally reluctantly hands him her shoes. He drives to La Grunta, which seems like he's driving very fast. He's at the La Grunta dolphin pool, or a what? Dolphin aquarium?
A dolphinarium.
Dolphinarium. And there's the trainer there, and he's like, yes, that's so true. You're so wise. He's playing basketball with Duke, right? He's just throwing a ball.
Just throwing the ball.
Duke knocks it into the thing. Yeah. Hank walks up and throws all the crap down and goes, there, take it all back. I don't want your payoff. He dumps all the stuff on the ground. He goes, what do you want? Money? Publicity? I want to see that no one has to go through what I went through except for a female dolphin. That's a good joke.
That is a good joke.
The trainer says, you signed the agreement. Our lawyers will do what it takes to protect the good name of La Grunta. And then Hank kind of storms off. The trainer is back. He looks at Duke, and there's something weird going on between the trainer and Duke. He goes, why must you speak through other guys like him? Why is it never me? And then the ball hits him right in the face because Duke just goes, donk. There you go. Yeah. Throws a ball at his face. Hank storms out, and he hears the golfers trying to manhandle Luanne again. And the guy says, here you go, darling. Hey, what's this? Who are you? Parking guy? I'm not. So Hank hears it, and he storms over to where they are playing golf.
Yeah.
The guy says, hey, who's this? Who are you, parking guy? Okay, I'm not handicapped. Okay, well, we're building a lot of evidence about this guy being a douchebag.
Yeah, he seems like a little turd.
Luanne is still in those dumpy Peggy clothes. He has heard her being mistreated. He sees the guy pat her on the butt, and then you just see Hank's fist ball up. He storms over there. He looks at the guys, and he storms over, grabs that golfer by the seat of his pants and by his collar.
And throws him in the pool.
He then takes him and throws him into the damn pool.
The Duke dicking down pool.
Yep. and the other golfers just get in their cart and speed away. Luanne says, "Go ahead, run, because I'm through running away from you. From now on, I'm going to dress any way I want, and you're just going to have to deal with it." While she's saying this, she's taking her clothes off in the middle of the golf course, and then the other golfers are back there just going, "Yes, all right, great."
All right,
but they're applauding the fact that she's taking her clothes off.
Yeah, they don't care what she's got to say.
Pretty crappy.
Unfortunately.
Hank throws the guy in the pool. He goes, "You think you can touch anyone, anywhere you want? That's okay, because no one says it's not." And then he throws him in the pool. The guy's like, "Okay, you throw me in the pool. Good job. I don't care. I was going for a swim anyway." You hear the squeaking. He goes, "A lot of people pay a lot of money to swim in here, so you gave it to me for free." Hank gives Duke a fish. Duke rolls over. Hank rubs him on the belly till he's pink. And then he takes off for the guy. The guy's like, "Hey, I owe you one. Maybe I'll buy you a beer." Hey, hey. And then you don't see it, but you hear the commotion of this guy. He's fixing to be humped by a dolphin.
Yep.
See how he likes it.
Yeah. Not a fan.
Now, I need to ask y'all a question. Did
Please
Hank,
don't. I'm just kidding.
Did Hank do the right thing here?
To teach that guy a lesson about sexual harassment?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
Yes.
Easily. Tit for tat, eye for an eye.
Yeah.
Because Luanne's not. Sorry, I didn't
rhyme goes.
talk over you.
Yeah.
No, you're good. But the dolphin. Yeah, I mean the dolphin then abusing him. I mean in a much worse way.
Yeah.
And probably more psychologically damaging, I would imagine, than
I would think so.
maybe, I don't know. I'm not trying to. I don't want to make any kind of comparison.
You're not trying to fish shame.
But also, because Luanne's not the first woman he's done that to.
Oh no, that's
he probably
true.
does it all the
That's
time. True. Also, because it's done. Because it was done to an actual member now, they'll actually probably get rid of him.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
so I'm in full agreement. I don't think it was wrong at all. I think it was justified. Not only just in a small bit. I think it was largely justified.
Okay. I agree that it's justified. I just don't know that it's the right thing to do, to throw a man in a pool so that he'll be raped by a dolphin. To show him what it feels like to sexually harass a woman.
I mean, the right thing to do, probably not. But
say it again.
Is it right? Probably not. But I don't care.
But is it right?
Right and just are two different things, right? So it is just. I think.
Is it rape?
I don't know about right.
If the animal can't ask you yes or no, is it rape?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yes, I believe it is.
Because if the inverse, if the animal can't say no or yes, it
right,
still is.
You're raping a dolphin.
I got you.
Yeah, you don't want that either. All right, now that we've said the R word 3 or 4 times,
but the
let's
inverse
try to move on.
is the dolphin exploiting this man, right?
Yeah, it's still the R word.
It's still not good.
Census.
Yeah, it's still not good.
Okay.
So the guy obviously gets humped by the dolphin, and the funniest thing to me about that whole scene is there's a kid there just taking pictures of it the whole time, like a little kid. So the next thing we see is we've got a big crane truck.
It's crazy what passes the censorships for TVs. The kid is taking the pictures of this, and what that implies is it's crazy that 90s TV let this fly.
That kid's a serial killer. Right that minute, that's his inception as a serial killer.
Years of therapy.
The next thing we see is they've got a big crane truck, and they're lifting Duke out of the water.
They're taking it back to the sea.
Yeah. Which is the way it ought to be anyway.
Especially after finding out what we just found out about dolphins living in confined spaces.
So the trainer is on a microphone. He goes, "Let's all wish Duke good luck as he begins his return to the ocean. Goodbye, Duke." I mean, he's torn up.
Not
This
to
dude
get
is
back
torn
to where
up.
it's dark, but I'm gonna just briefly say this real quick. I wonder what the ratio is of animals that do things like that. And I wonder what like level of intelligence animals that commit suicide have.
Yeah.
Like, do the dumb animals do it as well, or is it only observed in the hyper intelligent animals?
Yeah.
That would be a question.
I think it's got to be the smarter ones, because otherwise, doesn't that kind of suggest that they contemplate their existence? I mean, if they're willing to kill themselves over the fact that they don't think they're ever going to get out of this tub or whatever they're in. They're contemplating life, right?
Yeah, but, well, I mean, that's a whole nother conversation about the sentience of an animal, how sentient they are of their reality that they live in. I don't know. I guess that's not something that we can quantify or measure due to the lack of communication between like the lack of interspecies communication doesn't allow us to know whether they're thinking about the reality they live in or not.
With all these UFO sightings, maybe we should ask the aliens what the dolphins are thinking.
Well,
now. We're just moving around.
In the 1970s, there was a research where they were researching dolphins, but they wanted to try to talk to aliens.
That's what you told me.
And Margaret ended up jacking that dolphin off for most of his teenage years.
Well,
with zero.
maybe,
Look, Mike.
Maybe that's all the aliens are looking for.
Zero usable research is what they said they got from that entire project.
Hey,
nothing came from that
well,
except for
something
Peter.
came from it.
except for Peter.
Yeah.
Poor Peter. Rest in peace to my boy Peter. I'm gonna get a dolphin tattooed on me. It's gonna say "Rest in peace,
R.I.P.
Peter."
It was fun while it lasted.
Yeah. Poor Peter, man.
So everybody's all broken up about the fact that Duke is leaving, including Bobby. Goodbye, Duke. Then he turns to his mom. I love you. Mom, can I have a T-shirt? And so they go off to buy a T-shirt. Yeah. Hank and Luanne and Peggy and Bobby were all watching this as it happened. Again, Peggy and Bobby go off to buy a T-shirt. Luanne and Hank are left there. Luanne says, "Thank you, Uncle Hank." He goes, "You're welcome, Luanne." And then she says, "Can I send the video to When Animals Attack now?" "I don't think so." She goes, "We could split the money." He goes, "That's not necessary." She goes, "I can have it all." He goes, "Luanne, give me the tape." She goes, "I already sent it in. I thought you'd say yes." Wow. And that's it. We go to credits.
That's good. That's funny.
So at some point, there may be a loose episode of When Animals Attack out there in the Hill universe that shows Hank Hill getting molested by a dolphin.
Yeah, somewhere.
So we get our credits, and then after credits, we just hear Hank say, "I never get brunch."
I never get brunch.
And that is it, gentlemen.
And that's it.
It is over.
Good one.
Yeah, it was a good
episode.
one. I think that was probably a pretty long one, so I apologize to you guys. But
a funny AI-generated one-liner from Hank.
Yeah.
"I don't know what's wrong with you, but I bet it's hard to pronounce."
That is pretty
That's
good.
A good
yeah,
one,
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. All right, tell them one more time where they can find us if they desire to do so.
If you desire to find us, you can find us at Linktree. That's linktr.ee/BWAAAKOTH.
Zero dolphin content at that site. Yeah.
Zero dolphins. Yeah. Also, there you can find our YouTube. You can find our Spotify stuff. We still haven't gotten to that. We'll get to that soon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so go check us out everywhere. Interact with us on social media. I still need some people to DM me so we can get you some stickers. So if you haven't DM'd me yet and you want some stickers, hurry up and get on that list. It's a list that's filling up, and I need your name on there to put on there so it will fill up. So get on there. You can also email me at bwaaakoth@gmail.com.
Gmail.
I tell you what, if you need a lesson on how to talk to a lady,
tell you what.
Just watch the way I talk to my lawnmower. That's
another
one-liner.
one?
Yeah, that's good, right? That's good.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Hey, also, we have a ton of new shows starting, one of which will star producer Mason talking about books that hopefully he's read. And then, so please be on the lookout for that. Mason, have we finalized the name?
Yeah, Bibliophobia.
Bibliophobia. What a great name, right?
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I
Fear
like
of books.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I love it. All right, so you guys keep an eye out for that, please, or an ear out for it if you can. I think it's going to be good. He's going to have some different folks on there. Right now, it's you and Allison talking books, right?
Yeah, me and Allison and a friend from work, yeah.
Oh, good. Very nice. Very nice. So a friend from the TV station?
The place I work, yes.
Well, you also work here, so I didn't know if you were just, that was a veiled attempt to include me. I didn't know. Okay.
I don't want people to know where I work, Mike.
So, no. I just meant that you work in TV. I'm not trying to tell them where you work. So we also, we have a ton of other shows at roguemedianetwork.com. Please check us out there. Anything else you want to add, Rusty, before we get the hell out of here like that dolphin? That's it?
No, that's it.
All right.
Yeah, that's it. Wematanye.
Wematanye to you guys as well, and thanks for joining us. We appreciate it.
This has been a Rogue Media podcast.